Good morning, friends. Welcome to Ultravision Academy. So, 12th Science English Medium subject Computer. As we have completed 5 chapters in our computer subject, so now we will start our next chapter, chapter number 6, that is Object Oriented Concepts. Actually, from here, the entire topic gets changed. So, in the previous chapters, chapter number 1 to 5, we studied about advanced HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and then we studied e-commerce and m-commerce technologies. Now, from here, we have to understand what is object-oriented programming technique, and then we have to study a language, that is Java language, that is based on object-oriented concepts. So before starting Java, we must understand what is object-oriented concept. So in this chapter number 6, we will study about object-oriented technology, and then we will see Java language. In this chapter, we have to cover various topics. For example, what is object, what is class diagram, encapsulation, data abstraction, messaging, polymorphism, aggregation and composition. Difference between aggregation and composition means aggregation versus composition, inheritance, and then at last we have to see composition versus inheritance. So these are the topics that we have to cover in this chapter. So first of all, let's see the programming language basics. For any computer program, the core elements are data and functions. So in any computer language, there are two things important. One is data and another is functions. Either you can say functions, or you can say method or behavior, or you can say programming, coding. So in a language, there are two things important. There is a language means coding, and that is important, that we have to do. Then we need to input data, and then we need to store the data in a database in a proper method. So data is also very important. For example, suppose school management software is there. So in school management software, various coding is there. For example, school admission. Then suppose any student is leaving school, then we have to remove the admission. So these are the procedures or functions, or we can say logic, means coding. Now when we perform a particular task, for example, suppose admission. So whenever somebody input data, that data we need to store somewhere. So that is known as data, where we can store. For example, we can store it in Microsoft Access database, or we can store it in Oracle database, so that further we can use it. So two things are important: data and functions. Say for example, library management software. Details about individual books in a library, like book title, author name, price, etc., can be stored in a database with row and column structure, is considered as data. Say suppose here the book is given You Can Win. So we need to store the information about this book. So it can be stored in row and column fashion as given here. You can see name, title, author, price. Another thing, that is function. So library software can have few functions like book issue, book return, new member, etc. So these are the coding that we have to write. So in short, we can say that in programming language, two things are important: data and function. Now let's see about the various programming languages. Computer languages are used to create various types of programs. The way of programming can be divided into two categories: structural, or you can say procedural languages, and another is object oriented languages that we have to study. Remember, in procedural languages, the main focus is on writing functions or procedures which operates on data. As we have mentioned previously, that two things are important: data and functions. So in procedural languages, the function, it means whatever code we are writing, that is important and not data. In object oriented languages, the main focus is on object. These two things, remember, in procedural languages, the main focus is on functions, whereas in object oriented languages, the main function is on object, which contains data and procedure both. So object is such a thing in which we can wrap both the things, data and procedure. Procedure means you can say function. Object oriented programming. Object oriented programming concepts started originating in 1960s. So before that, procedural languages were there. So at that time, procedural programming was done. And since mid 1980s, it became the main programming paradigm. In object oriented languages, the main focus is on object, which contains both data and functionality. Remember, data and function both are included in object. So first of all, we have to see what is object. The popular object oriented languages nowadays are C++, Java, C#. Here you see C# is known as C#, then VB.NET and PHP. These are the programming languages based on object oriented technique. A computer language is object oriented if they support four specific object properties called data encapsulation, data abstraction, polymorphism, and inheritance. So remember, if any programming language is object oriented, then there must be these four facilities available. Four features must be there: data encapsulation, data abstraction, polymorphism, and inheritance. In this chapter, we have to see all these properties, all these things we have to see. So first of all, let's see what is object. Object word is taken from the real world examples. See, suppose in front of us there are several objects like pen, pencil, mobile, spectacles. So all these are objects. Similarly, in computer system also, whatever we see on screen, that is called object. In real world, objects are the entities of which the world is comprised. So here you can see pen, pencil, eraser, scale, all these are the objects. In software, we can have objects like individual books in library software. So say suppose we are dealing with library software, then individual books are objects. Remember, individual books. Same way, individual students and teachers, these are the objects in school management software. All objects have unique identity and are distinguishable from each other. and are distinguishable from each other. So each and every object gets distinguished by their properties. Each and every object contains one or more properties and methods. So remember, in an object there are two things, properties and methods. For properties you can also use another word, attributes, and for method you can use another word, behavior. So either you can say property or attribute, and you can say method or behavior, doesn't matter. So remember, object, then two things are there, properties or attributes, and methods or you can say behaviors. So in short, individual items known as object. For example, in library software, individual books, individual member, these are also objects. Librarian is also an object. Same way, in school management software, individual students are object, individual teachers are also object. So in object there are two things, properties and methods. Object contains various characteristics known as properties. So as we have seen, there are two things, properties and behaviors, or you can say attributes and methods. So object contains various characteristics known as properties. For example, every person has characteristics like name, address, city, gender, etc. in this real world. Each and every property of an object contains a value known as its state. See the difference between these two, property name and its value. So here you can see name is equal to Ram and city is equal to Surendranagar. So name and city, these two are the names of properties, whereas Ram and Surendranagar, these two are the values of properties. And for value you can use another word, that is state. So these two are property names, name and city, and these two are states, or you can say values, Ram and Surendranagar. So for example, suppose this image is given, the name of this person is Ram and he lives in Surendranagar. So here name and city, these are the attributes or properties, whereas Ram and Surendranagar, these are the values. Remember, value of a property can also be known as its state. It is also known as state. And objects differ from each other by their states. So if any other person is there, then the state changes. For example, name is equal to Shyam and city is equal to Rajkot, like that. Every object can have behaviors attached with them. So now, as we have discussed about property, now another thing, that is behavior or method. For example, a book can be issued. So book issue is a method. Remember, not property. Book issue is a method. So here you can see book 1, that is the name of object. Then book title, author name, price, these are the properties. Whereas display and book issue, these two are methods and not properties. Here you have to correct. Display and book issue, these are the name of methods. So attributes and behavioral methods associated with an object are collectively referred to as its members or features. In short, we can say that in common, these properties and methods, in common we can say members or features of an object. Object should be meaningful to the application. For example, in railway reservation, application objects are trains, passengers, tickets, or station. So when we are dealing with railway reservation software, these are the objects: trains, passengers, tickets, station, etc. So as we have understood what is object, now another thing that we have to see, that is class. Class can be considered as a blueprint of various objects. So it is like a format, and several objects can be there related to particular class. A class is a template for multiple objects with similar features. See, this line is very important. A class is a template for multiple objects with similar features. It describes a group of objects with similar attributes and common behaviors. So we can create a class and we can define various properties and methods, and accordingly we can give the various states, or you can say values, and we can create several objects. For example, we have a class named person describing common attributes and behavior. So for example, there is a class named person. Here you can see the name of the class is person, and various attributes are there: name, city, gender, birth date, and profession. Here we have not taken any methods, remember. So now here you can see object person 1 is given. So person 1, the values of various properties of person 1 are given: Ram, Surendranagar, male, birth date is given, and then profession is given. So this is an object. Person 1 is one object. Another object is person 2, and here you can see it gets distinguished by the state of the properties. For example, you can see here Shyam, Surat, male, birth date is given, and then professor. That is his profession. Same way, third object person 3 is there: Jamnagar, male, birth date is given, and then profession is doctor. So this way we can create a class. Inside class we can create several methods and properties, and accordingly we can create individual objects. Now what is class diagram? When we are going to create software, then we need to create several classes and objects. So creating a software is like a big project work. So at that time we need to create interlinked several classes. So for that we can create class diagram. So remember, the class diagram presents a collection of classes, constraints, and relationship among classes. See, these three things are very important. What is class diagram? It is a collection of classes, means several classes. Constraints means functions, or you can say coding program, and relationship among the classes. Unified modeling language, in short you can say UML, can be used to create models of object oriented software to help with design of an application. So using UML we can create class diagram. See, this is manual work and not directly coding. UML is a visual modeling language defined and maintained by the Object Management Group, OMG. These two full forms you have to remember. UML means Unified Modeling Language, and OMG means Object Management Group. The purpose of the class diagram is to model the static view of an application. So we can come to know the entire software, which class we have used, that we can come to know. So we will keep up to this in this lecture. Thank you.